I'm in the middle of doing the biggest declutter I have ever done since I started collecting fragrances. I am going through my entire collection and being really honest with myself about what should stay and what should go because I have reached the point where it's kind of a mess. Like, I have over 100 bottles currently in my collection. A lot of those bottles have been there since I first started collecting fragrances. Tastes have changed, preferences have changed, and I'm going to talk about it later in this video. Of course, I'm going to talk to you about what's been going on in my head because I have had a lot of thoughts. I know this sounds so dramatic, but this is going to be a big declutter. I'm probably going to be doing a part 2 to this because I don't think I'll be able to get through everything in this video. And I have like this like bursting bag full of perfume. Ariel Shoshana, I love them. I go there all the time, so I feel like I end up with their like bags. But I and by the way, this is a really sturdy bag. If it can hold this much perfume, I just want to say, side note, you guys really know how to do your bags, especially for perfumes. But yeah, I'm going to go through my collection again, actually, to see if there's anything else I need to declutter. So I'll be doing multiple parts to this. And then at the end, I'm going to be doing a perfume collection video because you guys have been asking. I'm going to be doing that video. And I'm also going to be filming, like, I think my thought process of how I go through the declutter as it's happening and either posting that on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. I haven't figured it out. I'm just kind of overwhelmed with this whole entire process because this has involved a lot. So if you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances and I love talking about them, and I do that here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, along with a ton of bonus content in between. If the idea of being really conscious about what you're bringing into your collection and spending money on fragrances, if the idea of being conscious around that is really appealing to you, you should definitely check out my fragrance expense tracker. It's a spreadsheet that's available for you to download down below. And with that spreadsheet, you can track to see how much money you're spending on fragrances, and you can also keep track of what you have in your collection brands-wise. So it's a pretty efficient way to essentially monitor what you have. And inspired by that, I basically decided to do massive declutter. So I'm going to go through all of these one by one. Again, stay tuned for another part to this video because there will be multiple. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first fragrance I'm going to be decluttering is Ana Abed, the original one. So Ana Abed Poudre Balatafa is one of my favorite affordable fragrances. I love and adore that perfume. I think it's fantastic. This one I also kept in my collection because I do like it. I think it's nice. It's just not my preference right now. It's kind of like a sharper pear fragrance, and I think that there is a place for this fragrance. And if you're someone that likes like the Baccarat Rouge-esque perfumes, this is one to try. And I wanted to keep it in my collection just to talk about it, but I think it's gonna have to go because it's becoming a space issue. Not gonna lie, it's becoming a space issue. My collection is stressing me out, and while I still do think it's a good fragrance and I probably would end up getting like a decant of this out of this bottle and recommending it still because I think that it could work for some people, it no longer works for me. I cannot remember the last time I willingly wore this. So this is I'm getting rid of this fragrance. This fragrance is going bye-bye. It's saying farewell, so long, farewell. On to the next. So the next one is a little bit interesting. So this is Agent Provocateur Vital Intense. I remember like getting really excited about this perfume. Essentially, this is like a floral licorice patchouli fragrance. And it does smell nice. It's so Agent Provocateur is like a lingerie brand. So I was super excited to get this fragrance because I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such like a sensual fragrance. And I remember like I think I sourced this bottle off of Mercari, and I was so excited when I got it. And that brings me to kind of what I've been thinking about. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot actually, but I've realized that I've had to really be honest with myself about how my tastes have changed and how my preferences have changed, because at one point I was really excited to have this, but right now my collection has grown considerably and I'm very lucky to have received some fragrances in PR, have bought fragrances with my own money, like niche bottles, like really nice, high quality items. And it's not to say that like if something's less expensive, it's lesser quality. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. There's some really affordable fragrances in my collection that I will still hold on to because they're that good. But I have to be really choosy with essentially what stays. And while I think this is a good fragrance, it's not great compared to the other fragrances in my collection. So that's why it's going. I mean, I kind of like was tempted to hold on to it, but then I sniffed it a few times and I looked at what I had and I was like, I can't justify this. Like this is gonna have to go. Like I have to pass this off on to someone else who would like it more. Um, because again, I cannot remember the last time I wore this. Like if I want to be seductive, if I want to like embody what I think this fragrance like embodied in my head at one point, I can literally reach for like 10 other perfumes and I'd enjoy that experience a lot more than my experience with this. So there you go. Another one that's like going on the chopping block is Oud Venene. This is like that Oud Rose combo. This is by Frank Olivier. Again, still a good one. I don't think I've used this one up that much. I'm gonna be giving away a lot of these. I think, in fact, most of these to like people in my life who are like interested in having them. Yeah, like I don't see why not. Like I can just like pass these off to someone who would enjoy them more. But this is just an example of like again like another fragrance that I bought like when I was like super into like this scent profile at one point. But now I'm not interested in it. This is like Oud Rose. It's kind of like a unisex, but it kind of I think it's still an androgynous scent because it has like that kind of gourmand quality that makes it like a feminine scent, but it also has that oud, which makes it more masculine. So I think anyone could wear this. But again, this has just been taking up space, and this is going to be a pass. The next fragrance that's leaving the collection is a little bit difficult for me, and I was actually tempted to hold on to this one, but I'm gonna have to declutter it because I don't see the point of having this anymore. Is Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio, Acqua di Gio. It's been a long day. Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio. This is an iconic fragrance. This is a classic. It kind of smells very soapy to me, like soapy, fresh, citrusy. Um, I like it in some contexts. Like I don't like it enough to like wear it nonstop, and that's where I think I'm drawing the line. Like I've worn this a few times, but I have to be in the right mindset to wear it. And I think right now I'm just not interested in like a soapy fragrance. So yeah, this is also going to be given away. So I'm not going to be keeping this in my collection. This is leaving. I will say this, and I can delve into this a little bit more deeply in a future video if you would like me to. But I've kind of noticed a correlation between my growth on social media and my development when it comes to my fragrance preferences because I've noticed as I'm exposed to more and more and more perfumes, I start to get super picky with what I like and what I just don't want to have in my collection. And one of the reasons, I think I mentioned this earlier, one of the reasons why I'm doing this massive declutter is because I don't have enough space. And I'm also realizing that I'm wearing certain fragrances over and over again. And then there's a whole subset of fragrances that I genuinely do not wear. And like I might recommend them in some cases. I think they could be good for certain cases, certain situations, certain preferences, but I don't wear them. So I'm like getting fragrances, like getting more fragrances added to my collection. I'm like really lucky to be in a place where like I'm slowly starting to get some PR and I'm getting all these fragrances that I absolutely love and I'm buying these fragrances that I love and I literally like I can't enjoy them because like I'm having to squeeze them in with so much other stuff that I'm just no longer wearing. So I think my evolution as a content creator has a big role in how my tastes have changed when it comes to fragrance. And it's kind of difficult because part of me feels a little bit guilty because I recommend certain fragrances and now some of these fragrances I am decluttering. Like I have so many fragrances that I'm going through and I know I'm being a very chatty person in this video and I'm definitely going to be doing more videos. But I think I have to be really honest and say a lot of fragrances smell good. Not every single fragrance is one that I want to have in my collection. It's like when you walk into a department store and you smell fragrances, you can say, oh yeah, this smells good. I like this. I like that. But do I love it? Do I love it enough to wear time and time and time again? And if I did love it at one point, do I love it anymore? Case in point, I'm gonna reach into this bag and pick out some fragrances that I really, really loved, and at this point, I cannot stand wearing them. And I think like there's an association with this. Like I think I associate some scent memories with this, some parts of my life that I'm no longer in. But these are some dapper fragrances. They're dupes for Xerjoff Symphonium, which is like a spicy, spiced orange. I like it, but I'm just having a scent memory association with it, and I can't. And then Bouquet Ideale by Xerjoff. Again, I like it, but it's a scent memory. I can't. Yeah, so like these are, like I have worn these, like I've worn these fragrances, I've tried to wear them, and I literally get, like I get anxious, like I can't. Um, so yeah, I'm not wearing these fragrances. Yeah, see, my brain wants to like it, but then another part of my brain is like, remember that part? Remember what happened? I mean, not, you guys know how this goes, right? Like sometimes, like if you wear a fragrance during a certain period of your life, and like then things change, and your your life changes, and you smell that fragrance again, and you're like, oh boy, that takes me back. So that's what I'm getting right now. I'm definitely gonna have to do like a part 2 to this video because it is literally getting so dark right now. This is the downside to it being like, this is the downside to it being close to the wintertime, fall, wintertime, because at this time in the summer, like it would still be bright out and I'd still be able to like crank out like 3 more videos, but like it looks like this will be my last one for today. Jessica Simpson Fancy. Um, it smells really nice. It does. It smells really nice. If I didn't have the fragrance collection I have now, I would definitely keep this, and I think it's a good one. But I liked this at one point. Uh, did I wear this much? I think I did like this, and I've worn this a few times. I still think it's a good one. It literally smells like a vanilla cake with red berries. I like this a lot. It's like one of the better celebrity fragrances in my opinion. But do I like it enough to keep it? No. Like this, I have to pass this off to someone else. And I think that like that is a likable scent profile to the point that I don't think I'll have any issues actually giving it away to someone because I think they'll enjoy it because it is a really pretty fragrance. It's just not something that works for me anymore. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see regarding this like whole declutter kind of situation. Do you want me to share my criteria for decluttering? I know that you guys do want to see the fragrance collection video, and that will be coming. I'm just still in the process of organizing, and honestly, it's a lot better now. I'm looking at like the setup that I have going over there, and it looks a lot better than it did because 2 days ago, this like I had like fragrance bottles and boxes everywhere. So yeah, I can definitely go into more detail as to like what my criteria is for decluttering, what I'm thinking about, like what questions I'm asking, because I've curated my collection to the point that I like everything, but I love a smaller number of things. And again, my fragrance tastes have changed so much, and my ability to experiment with different fragrances at different price points has also changed. When I started fragrances, like I was making a lot less than I do right now, and my collection has changed. So yeah, I mean that's just the honest truth. So anyway, this video is getting so dark, but I'm hoping that you'll come on this process with me. I mean, obviously I'm going to be doing my regular content in between this project, but I do want to film this because I think it's really important to have these like kind of hard conversations about consumerism, about likes and dislikes, because uh, I have a few thoughts. Oh my gosh, should we get into it? Oh my gosh, should we get into it? Yeah, let's get into it. Um, this is gonna sound so controversial, and if you disagree with me, that's totally fine. And let me just say this, I mean this with the best possible intention, but if, in my opinion, I'm kind of like of the thought process at this point that if you're not a homeowner and you have like shelves and shelves and shelves of fragrances, I kind of get the ick. Like, I get the ick at the thought of me getting to that point where I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fragrances without owning a house or without at least having another bedroom to put the fragrances in. But even that, like when I picture myself in that situation, I don't think I could reconcile with having shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of fragrances. Like you guys know what I'm talking about, like what you see on social media. Like you have people literally like having like if an earthquake happened, God forbid, if an earthquake happened, there'd be shards of glass everywhere. Like that scares me. Like that having that much stuff scares me, and I'm not a minimalist at all. But the thing is, I have like financial goals, and part of that is owning a house one day, right? And until I am a homeowner, or like I at least own like some kind of property, I see myself being like a very I see myself as being like a person that will move often, right? I don't see myself staying in the same location for years and years unless I own that. Does that make any sense? And I feel like when like the thought of moving with so many fragrances, or the thought of like having to like move, I mean, actually move any distance, whether it be across the country or like in the same neighborhood or to a different town or to a different state, like the thought of doing that with like so many fragrances, like it just like, can you see why I'm getting anxious at this process? But yeah, I'm really glad I'm finally doing this because I'm looking forward to being able to like have an aesthetically pleasing setup. And that's been really difficult because I do live in a small apartment. Like that's not possible. Like I can't have a huge fragrance display, and I also have other interests besides just fragrance, and I do have things that I'd have to buy that those interests involve. Like for example, I also collect books, so you can imagine like I have to basically fight for shelf space, whether it be for my books or for my fragrances. So that's a whole other conversation. So I think you'll actually see that when it comes to like my fragrance collection video, because I will be sharing like a few sneak previews of what my book collection looks like. But yeah, that's like a whole other topic. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Honestly, at this point, like I should just go on lives because maybe I'll stop rambling. Like maybe I'll start rambling less in these videos because I've been talking for like about 20 straight minutes about this whole declutter situation, and I think I was able to get through like 5 fragrances, but I just had to rant. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching till the end of this video. Stay tuned for more declutter content because that will be coming. But yeah, thank you so much, and I will go before it becomes pitch black in here. So yeah, have a great day. Bye.